So, if anyone would like to share and just type in what that was like for you, what you saw in the rose, what you noticed, well, maybe what you didn't, if you have a question, like I'm not sure what I saw or what was that image, feel free to ask. And you could do this more than once. You could do this often. You could sit down and look at this for yourself. Maybe it shows you a different piece every time. Okay. Um, what I can say is that if it's a real answer, it's not going to be a whole lot of words. It's not going to be like a story of words. It's probably going to be like an energy, an image, a sense, just like a deep, still understanding. I found two paradoxes. Cool. Not just one paradox, two, but the two paradoxes were actually one. Paradox joke, sorry. I didn't get any clarity, but I relaxed into the uncertainty and stayed aware and open. Perfect. Maybe that is what you needed to be aware of, just a sense of uncertainty and be open. You do that long enough and it'll shift. I guarantee it. Yeah. So if you're sitting there like, yeah, I don't notice anything, I don't see anything, I'm not sure. Okay. What's the part of my mind that's saying, I don't notice anything, I don't see anything, I'm not sure? Watch that part of your mind. And then slowly you separate from it because it might be covering it up. Like the sports commentator is like, let me look at this rose. Well, it looks red. It looks all right. I guess David's explaining it correctly. It looks fine. It's not the nicest rose I've ever seen. It's not the worst. you know, and you go, oh, there's a commentator. All right, so watch the commentator. That's not the part of you that's going to understand what we're doing here. Okay. Um, a whole strange storyline. Yeah. March into one of your grandma's gardens. Wow. Old fashioned movie of you as a kid popped up. That's all really great. Yeah. Sometimes that happens, like layers and layers come up and come out. Get some great understanding that way. Yeah. Amazing, everyone. Um, I think purpose and meaning in life is something that's always evolving and something that we're develop. It's like as creators, we're developing and creating purpose. It's not necessarily like some static thing that we find, like the Ark of the Covenant or something. It's not like this thing that we find. Oh, I got purpose. There it is. Makes so much sense. It's more of it's something we're developing into with our relationship with life. Often will be a reflection of you and your path. Um, let's see. Felt like the petals were ready to fall away. Good. Vacuuming, you talked about in the beginning, helped quite a lot with the noise. Good. I experienced a lot of release, a lot of crying. Yeah. Excellent. And for once, I stayed out of my head, but in your head, right? In the right part of your head. Um, cool. A lot of noise. Somebody said they had a lot of noise. Yeah, you just notice that noise, but then you want to start to break the noise down, right? So, if I was to ask you what, Emily, like what was the noise made out of? Who who was making the noise? Like, is it the complainer? Is it the commentator? Is it the Mr. Mrs. Judgment? Right? Is it the control freak? Is it the scaredy cat? Is it the perfectionist? Is it the angry at something? Is it the victim? Start to notice the quality of the noise and where it's coming from. And then you break it down even a little further. Maybe you recognize, wow, that noise isn't even from my head, it's from somebody else's head. That noise is from some relative or friend or coworker. You start to, oh, that's where that noise came from. Fascinating. You learn a lot about it. It's the dick. Oh, we know who it is. Why did I even go into all that? We know who it is. There we go. It's all the voices talking at once. Great. So a lot of it is shame. So you honed in on something, right? That's the door it's getting in on. That's how it's getting into you, is through the doorway of shame. That's finding its way in. So that you have to meet it and look at it and realize, oh, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Really start to see through it. That might be a deep part of your purpose. Because on the other side of all of that noise, all of the noise is who you aren't, right? You're not all of those noises, all of those voices. So when you get through them, you start to find out who you actually are. So it's not a coincidence or even a problem that they're there. It's actually probably the path that you're going to take to find out who you are. You have to go through the complainer and the victim and the perfectionist and all of them to find who you are. You might have to see through each one by one. So it's not a coincidence. It's not a problem. It's actually probably a very important part of the meditation. Yeah. I explored issues around trust and love. Cool. These are areas you're working on. Amazing. Great. Uh, Question. Confusion about this thought. I feel like I know what my purpose is. So is having a strong sense of my purpose blocking me from finding my purpose? That sounds intellectual. Yeah. Um, if you take a spiritual truth that you've realized and you do like overly intellectualize it, or you cross it too much through time, like this has become my thing because I saw it once or it was a realization, yeah, that could have some kind of like confusing negative effects. I mean, and a very extreme would be like somebody has this great spiritual realization and then they go start a religion or a cult or something, right? Like, but I saw it, God spoke to me. It's like, yeah, in that moment, but then they like stretch that through time and everyone should believe their realization forever. Um, so we always want to be in this moment and purpose has a pulse. Okay. It's alive. And so is that purpose and meaning real in this moment, or was it from some time earlier? Because every moment it's growing as you're growing and shifting as you are. So yeah, you might go, oh wow, I'm holding on to an old realization. Um, let me check in with that again and see if it's true now. That's one of the hardest parts about growing and developing, is like shedding who we used to be, right? On so many levels, including sometimes our realizations for the next thing. You know, you have to honor what's true for you. If you wake up in the morning and you're like, I'm meditating, and what's really important to me today is like money and stabilization, then that's your truth. If it's exercise and eating well, if it's speaking what's true for you to somebody, if it's finding courage, if it's showing vulnerability, if it's letting yourself receive love, all of those things can be true in the moment that you're deepening into. And then the next moment, it's something else, and then something else. And it can be hard for us because the people around us want to see us as these static things, right? So they know us, they feel safe. But that's just not how growth works. And so we have to honor that movement all the time and stick with it and see what's next. Letting go of what I don't need anymore. Yeah, growing pains is a real thing. Great. Sometimes random songs would start playing. Okay, cool. Awesome. You guys have beautiful realizations. Make sure you write them down and start a religion. And, let me know how that goes. Just kidding. I've seen it so many times. That's just why I bring it up so many times. Or someone will come to me and be like, it's David. And their eyes are real big. David, David. That's when I know there's a problem. David. I had a realization, and their eyes are way too big. This is the truth, capital T for the, and capital T for truth. And I'm like, oh, back the off. Right? That's one of those DMT moments. Like, yeah, that was in that moment. That's great. But the real test of growth is like, on average, every day, you as a human being in the world, how much you're living it and developing it. It's not just one big realization moment. Okay. So that's why we meditate so much, and I'm relentless with this point. It really is just an insane amount of work, but a good kind. And I'm so glad you guys are doing it with me. I hope you're feeling the change in yourself and the difference, and it's starting to affect your physical experience in the world. I really hope that's happening. Like somebody throws energy at you, or a judgment or criticism, and it bounces off, or maybe it lands hard, but then you hold on to it for less than you used to, or you feel confusion and you sit down and you find an answer through meditation. You're more loving, compassionate. Like it should start to seep into your being and then express out into the world. That's the real test of growth over time. So, yeah. All right, you guys. Thank you so, so much for being here. Mildly terrifying. Yeah. So, homework, just watch out for those dicks in the world. Just like 17 people just canceled meditation school. Um, Bye-bye, you dick. No, so bad. Oh my God. I'm sorry. All right. I'm going to unmute you all if you want to say bye. Oh, wait, announcement before we do that. For those of you who are still here, I was supposed to announce this at the beginning of class. Friday morning, Pacific time, 10 a.m., Desi's teaching. That's in like 2 days. Because she had to travel, so she had to teach this week instead of next. So if you want to come to that one, I'll be there. It should be really fun with Desi this Friday morning. That's the only announcement for now. Okay. Love you all. I will see you soon. Oh yeah, let's unmute and say bye. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.